So as I shared, this Dharma talk is taken from a talk given by Roshi Joan Halifax of the Upaya Zen Center. And some of you were present during the weekend called Awakened Action by Zen Master. Oh, I'm sorry, I just skipped where I was. Awakened Action, opening to all life. It was a very beautiful retreat, and her talk was, like I said, entitled Finding Grounding in Groundless World. And in this rather radical talk, Roshi Joan spoke to 3 tenets that were developed for awakened action by Zen Master Bernie Glassman, who founded the Zen Peacemakers and who was one of Roshi Joan's teachers. And I want to weave the connection that Marita Sharan, who is one of our Sangha members, just returned from the Zen Peacemakers annual retreat in Auschwitz, where she buried successfully one of the earth treasure vases just very, very recently. Yeah. And the 3 tenets came to Bernie Glassman at a time when he felt the call to leave the structures of conventional monastic Zen life and broaden into socially engaged Buddhism, bearing witness to what has and is taking place in the world. And Roshi Joan shared that his first action was a group of them went from the monastery in New York to sit on the steps of the US Capitol building in winter to witness what was taking place at that time, which is a very powerful image I like to hold for this present moment, this winter at the White House in the United States. So the first of the 3 tenets for engaged Buddhism is not knowing. And we've all been schooled to grasp onto knowing and hold to frameworks of knowing that make us feel secure. And Roshi Joan invited us to let go and open to the truth of radical uncertainty and develop tolerance for the inconceivable, asking us to consider how we might drop beneath our fears and our expectations to a place of radical openness and curiosity that allows us to look deeply past the structures that have made us feel safe to a place from which we can be surprised. And she emphasized that we each have so much to deconstruct, that our frameworks of safety are so precious to us, and they offer us a sense of being grounded, but the truth is that we live in a groundless world. And she really spoke to how there is nothing that we can count on. And she said, this is a powerful place to open to. There is nothing that we can count on, and this is a powerful place to open to. And bearing witness is the second tenet. And bearing witness requires us to develop a capacity in an unfiltered way to connect with things just as they are. Roshi Joan then brought forward a teaching from one of the very early Zen masters who said, do not find fault with the present. The present is just as it is. And this is what we have to bear witness to. She encouraged us not to allow our frames of reference to separate us from what is taking place, but allow ourselves to be in intimate relationship with the present moment. And she said that we can hold structures and individuals accountable while bearing witness and being present with compassion. So she ended that little piece by again saying, do not find fault with the present. This is it. And out of bearing witness, the third tenet of awakened action arises. It arises out of the fundamental openness of bearing witness, out of the non-dual state of uniting with things as they are. And from that arises a seamless response, a response guided by our character, our deepest intentions, our atonement, and our commitment to care. And so those were the jewels of her talk, I felt. I've been sitting with them. They're so powerful. And I will share one insight that came to me since I've been contemplating the words of developing tolerance for the inconceivable. And I realized that as the inconceivable plays out, having tolerance serves me in a couple of ways. It allows me to consider reality without becoming cynical and separating myself with a false sense of superiority. And tolerance also frees me from being victimized by the inconceivable events that are manifesting. And all of these reactions of cynicism, superiority, or victimization are caught in that play of duality. And if I identify with them, it makes me an actor committed to keeping the play going. And it is so easy to feel cynical and victimized, I have to say. And I realize that can be a way I use them to not identify with what horrifies me. And yet, both of those stances hinder my ability to engage in awakened action. So I'll just end by saying again, do not find fault with the present. Out of bearing witness arises awakened action.